Welcome back. Excited to delve into this next chat because we're going to be reviewing books. Joining us is our beloved South African children's author, Refiloe Maohloli, known for her heartfelt, empowering stories like How Many Ways Can You Say Hello, We Are One, and Yes Yanga. Well, Refiloe has become a voice of inspiration for young readers across the country. And her latest book, Dance to Your Own Beat, it's a story that celebrates self-confidence and individuality and just the joy of being yourself. The author this morning joins us to chat a little bit further. On that note, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Look, everything, I love your hair, what you've written in my book, you've signed my copy, you honestly urge us to remind us to be ourselves, and that's the essence of this book, Dance to Your Own Beat.
Yes.
It's so pivotal to have kids understand who they are. Tell us why was it important to pen those to paper in this edition for you?
Yeah, and celebrate who they are. You know, it's based on a child who, she loves to dance.
Yes.
But as soon as she sees eyes on her, that's when she gets self-conscious, not when she's just being in her natural element.
Exactly.
So it's about her really facing that fear of what will people say and focus more on what do I feel? What do I want to do? What feels good for me? And then let that lead the way.
And it, I mean, obviously it looks at how it's a natural thing to want to move your body. It's a way to heal as well.
Absolutely.
And if we look at our own history as a country, this is in our DNA, right?
Absolutely.
So this is so befitting. But I wonder if it also stems from your own personal experiences. That was what I wanted to ask.
You know, the inspiration actually came from observing my niece when she was in grade 0, when she came back from Heritage Day celebrations at her school. She came back home and she said to her mom, I want to dance to Zulu music. And it was so amazing, just her connection to her culture and moving and dancing to it. And then from there, it kind of, you know, it sparked an idea in my head. Yeah.
And I mean, you're also passionate about illustrating and also having the story told in indigenous languages in our own country, because that accessibility is so key, particularly for kids at a young age. Tell us a little bit more about the translations of this edition, even working with Gabby Boy, because it's so beautifully illustrated. I wanted to know that relationship and journey as well.
So I'll start with Gabby because she's done such a great job. She's brought in the vibrancy of this beautiful girl, Uzazi. Zazi means know yourself.
Yes.
And that was conscious as well.
Yes.
And the languages is a big part. I'm very passionate about that. You know, just having the children experience celebration in their own mother tongue. It says who you are is important, who you are is valuable, who you are deserves to be celebrated. And that's part of your own beat as well, in the language that you speak.
And it's also about hearing your own inner voice and listening to that, because the world calls us many things, right? But it's about being still and understanding who you are. That comes with clarity as well. And this is a conversation started for families, because it's not just kids that pick up the book. I mean, I was sitting with my friend's daughter and we were reading it, and it was just looking at how our eyes light up, you know. Even the illustrations look like you know, our children as well. That means a lot. But there are challenges with all of this. It's not easy, you know, publishing in our country. It's not easy to also perhaps tap into that space. The children then have to grow with you as well. So tell us about, you know, since the inception of your previous works to this evolution, how that journey has been and the families you've taken along with you.
It's been so beautiful. I think from the first book I wrote, it was such a South African story, saying hello in all the different languages. And I think as soon as people see themselves, experience themselves in stories, that's when, you know, people come on board. For instance, I mean, this book is part of the Children's Month celebrations, inclusive books. So you have like when your stores and everyone around you supports the dream, I think it becomes easier for people to take it on as well.
When did that moment of pause happen in your own life? Because obviously with Zazie, it's about dancing to your own beat, but there's a point where you mustn't follow the crowd. And that was also what came through. And if we're looking at our own personal lives, I mean, we can draw some inspiration.
I mean,
when did that happen for
my
you?
beat is the storyteller beat, right? I studied BCom Information Systems. I did something so different to what I'm doing now, and I was in that industry. And the decision to make that jump, you know, to be the writer that I dreamt about it, but to actually do that step, not knowing what's coming. You have to really listen to your own inner voice and trust that this is my gift. that I'm giving to the world, and that I'll be taken care of as I share the gift. Which is what's been happening. Like I say, all the support, the parents, the children, the stores, the publisher. That's how we've gotten here. It's not a solo journey.
No, absolutely. What is the biggest challenges for you then as a children's author at large to date? Even just if we're looking at African literature, what are those expectations that come as a result as well?
You know, because I think there's so much more still to do, and maybe because of the literacy situation in our country, you always feel like the little you're doing, is it enough? There's so much more that we can do. But I think what has helped me with those challenges is realizing the importance and significance of one child. You know, when you look at the whole country as a whole, it can feel so big. But if you recognize the importance of one child, and if one child's life is changed, that is a lot. It helps to break down the goals into small little steps and feel like, you know, there's an achievement that's happening along the way.
And it's also just taking them by the hand, because it's each one teach one.
Each one.
So if the parents are watching it, the kids are watching as well, and you just want to give them some advice, you know, dancing to your own beat. What's that piece of wisdom that you'd like to extend to them?
I think sometimes we try too hard to fit ourselves in a box. And there was never meant to be a box for how many people on the planet right now? 60 million people in this country alone. So I think when we recognize that how we bring, whatever we're bringing, one storyteller may be different to another. Don't compare. Who you are is the big reveal. Who you are and how you bring it.
I mean, we all have that tune and that song inside of us. Absolutely. And through this work, I think you've managed to remind us of who we are and that beat. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your vision. Thank you for also empowering the next generation. This obviously was captured poignantly by Refiloe this morning. She was sharing her voice, her vision at large, dance to your own beat. It's a celebration of self-love, as you heard it, and the author joined us this morning. Don't forget to get your copy. And on that note, we'll be right back after this. In fact, we are going to go into that performance, that coveted performance that I promised you. Lusanda Official standing by. It's over to you, Lusanda.